Hi everybody, I'm Joep Arends. Welcome here in Amsterdam, in our building here at Deloitte. Not as beautiful as Sardinia, of course, but still a lovely place to work. My role as an innovation expert is to help organizations come up with new ideas, develop these ideas into solutions, products, services, and help them bring these solutions, these services into the market. So I help them launch the ideas, but also scale them up across Europe and actually the world. My focus is on the financial services industry. I work a lot in Europe, Middle East and Africa. And most important, I'm heavily involved in the Think Forward initiative. As you know by now, innovation is an important part of the Think Forward initiative. The method we're going to use is called Lean Startup. Research can play a very important role in innovation, but especially in the Lean Startup methodology. To understand that role, I will first explain a bit about Lean Startup. Innovation is becoming more and more an important topic. We see new technologies getting into the market. We see more both big companies and small organizations, startups focusing on innovation. We see that many organizations still struggle with it. Fortunately, they learn a lot and they learn from past mistakes, so we get better at it all the time. One thing that organizations learned is that there are actually two big risk elements in doing innovation. There's the technology risk and there's the market risk. Where traditional methods focus on technology risk, we see more and more methodologies like the Lean Startup focusing on market risk. Most of the innovations that fail don't fail because there's a technology difficulty or that it doesn't work from a technical point of view, but they always fail because there's a mismatch with the market need and the solutions that they're bringing to the market. Lean Startup methodology is specifically focused on that part, understanding the market risk and eliminating that market risk. So why is it called Lean? Many of you might know Lean as something they heard about in process optimization. For example, what Toyota has done in the 80s and 90s, making it famous. There, Lean is all about getting all the waste out of the process, optimizing the process by getting all unnecessary things out of that process. Here it's actually the same thing, but the biggest waste in innovation is of course developing something that nobody wants. So reducing the waste in your innovation process is making sure that you develop something that people actually want and actually are going to use. So let me show you how that works. Now it gets interesting. So how do we know what people actually want? You're researchers, so you know that just asking them is not good enough. There's this famous saying by Henry Ford who said, if I asked the people, then they would have asked me for a faster horse. So this is what we do. We're going to build something and we're going to launch that into the market, give it to the people and measure what happens. How many people are actually using it, how do they use it, do they keep using it or do they use it only once? And we use all that data that we get to learn. And we use all these learnings to rebuild it or build a new version of our product or our service. So as you understand, of course, that there's a big problem here. Building costs a lot of time and a lot of money. So the whole Lean Startup methodology is focused on keep this to a minimum. And that's why they always talk about a minimal viable product. So only build those parts of your solutions that are not yet known. So the uncertainties, test those and then use the learnings you get out of that to rebuild a new version and to start learning again. The key, of course, is to decide or to know what is minimal. That's always a tricky thing, of course. So when innovating, we make a lot of assumptions on how our solutions should look like, what the functionality should be, how people are going to use our service, etc., etc. So a key element is to find those solutions that are make or break our innovation and at the same time are still unknown. And you're going to build your minimal viable product about those unknown assumptions. And this is what researchers like. You turn those assumptions into a hypothesis, measurable hypothesis. You're going to build it and then use that build thing, solution, innovation to test your hypothesis. So an example, there's this famous story and a real life story of an entrepreneur who wanted to sell shoes online. It was in the time that online shoe selling was a new thing. And he looked at the problem and he used Lean Startup methodology and he thought, building that whole distribution network, that's already been done. So there's no uncertainty there. There's only one uncertainty, one unknown, and that is will people actually buy shoes online? So what he did, instead of setting up that whole distribution network, he just went on his bike, went to physical stores and there he took pictures of the shoes that they were selling there. He put the pictures online and then every time a customer bought a shoe online, got back on the bike again, bought the shoe at the physical store and then sent it to the customer. Of course it's a non-scalable model whatsoever, but why it's crucial that he did it like that, he could very cheaply test his assumption that people are willing to buy shoes online. So the key element is to test the things that we don't know yet. So the more we know, the less we have to test. And that's where research can be very helpful. So we're always looking for proven insights. One field is related to the problem. Do we understand the problem? What are all the characteristics of that problem? And more important, what is the root cause of that problem? Or of course, a customer need. Once that is clear, then we move on to the next field, and that's about the solution. Does our solution fit with the problem? Is our solution the best solution to solve that problem or to solve that customer need? Because in the end, the more we know, the less we have to test, the faster we can get our solution into the market. So I hope this sheds some lights on how innovators think and how they act. We've worked with a lot of researchers before in the Think Forward initiative, and I'm really looking forward to work with you again. If you want to learn more about innovation, lean startup, feel free to just give me a call, drop an email, because I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you.